price per head of beast, what is the sort of the rate you buy it off when you're buying it off a family member?
The same as what is out there in the whole big wide world.
Right.
I think the first lot of cows I made $400 I paid, and then paid $600 for the next. I mean, they're about $2,000 now, but I mean, we're looking at early 90s.
Right.
In fact, I think the cows are cheaper.
Oh, so that's something that someone reflecting back on will go, $400.
Yeah.
This is what they're paying now.
Well, totally. I think at $2,000 for a dairy cow now, in reality, is probably cheaper in real terms than what was going on at the time.
Right. A model farm. You describe a nearby farm as the ideal. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, it was just one that we did quite a lot of reciprocal work with dairy, baling hay, and you were on that farm. I was on that farm reasonably often. They were good farmers. Like, there's no doubt about it. They were very good farmers.
Yeah.
80 hectares, and it was all usable. It was nice and flat, and they didn't have all these horrible drains that we had. It had a good silty loam with a sand base, so it just drained well and it didn't get overly wet.
Lucky them.
Well, yeah. Well, I suppose it was the great dichotomy. We were only 3 kilometres one way down the road, and we dropped into the peat swamp. And I guess that's why it was cheap when Dad bought it.
Did you ever test the difference between their soils and yours?
Over time, I've absolutely know exactly what's going on and how it works and what we should have done differently and all sorts of things. And yeah, which brings you to the point where, wow, man, could we make that peat farm rock and roll now? But I don't want to go back and milk cows.
No.
And I certainly don't want to live on a main road either.
Yeah, good point. What was it about their farm that you thought, or should I say, influenced you?
It was simplicity. Like, it was just so simple. They milked cows. When they made hay, we saw them making hay because we were picking up the hay bales and we stuck it in the shed, and that was it. Like, as far as silage or anything, that was their only extra work. And it's like, for me, I was going, oh, this is just makes more sense, because at the end of the dairy farming time, we had to just do so much. Just straight into cultivating paddocks and cleaning drains and mold ploughing and regrassing, and they didn't do any of that.
Yeah, actually, that sort of brings me to this next question. And with being busy all the time, modern farmers, have they got the balance right, or are they just busy all the time?
No, they got themselves into where we were, and that's what I really discussed in the book, was about how I believed I wanted to get out of this busy, because I'd seen what was going on down the road, and I'd see these fishing boats going off to the Firth of Thames, and I was ploughing, or people would drop in, oh, you want to come fishing? Going, I got 20 acres to plough, and then I've got to put that in grass, and then put the mold ploughs in and do this, and if I don't do it before winter, then it'll be too wet, and blah, 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 and it was on and on and on it went. And they didn't have to do that, and so they were getting higher production and less work. And it sunk in on me. I just like, oh, I can't handle this anymore. I'm milking cows. It was all right to break in peat land and run beef cows, but to do it with dairy cows and still continue to improve the soils and carry on and do it, and just too much.
Right, so low input success is the ideal formula. Do you think there's a misconception in farming about the need for high cost inputs to succeed?
Well, the companies have pushed it that way, and it's been pushed very hard by Dairy New Zealand and other outfits too. And I can just categorically say it doesn't work. I mean, we were at that point very good at growing low-cost crops, doing a lot of the work ourselves, so it wasn't outside contractors. But when I see it now, dairy farmers are either buying maize or growing maize. They're destroying their soils by spraying them out and using all these nasty chemicals, and then they wonder why that won't grow afterwards. Whenever we grew crops, the grass actually grew better afterwards because we looked after the soil and we got the lime down deeper and we got a better soil base and everything like that. But that's not what happens with the systems that these guys have got in place. And so then they stack more cows on, they make themselves work harder, and then they find trouble getting labour. It's a continual beat up, and the cost of production has gone through the roof, further than what we were at when we were on the peat in percentage-wise.
Yeah. Okay, so with all the activities on a farm, calving, mating, cropping, all the work you had to do, and with what I understand is your philosophy now, did you have a defining moment when you were like, I can't do this shit anymore?
it just like probably
Or like this.
like this. I mean, when you're sitting on a tractor and it's 25 degrees and there's dust coming in and it's hot and steamy, and that you know that in another 15 minutes you got to knock off and go and put the cows through the shed, and it's hot and steamy and they're flicking their tails and bits and pieces. It was just like, this is not right, and I can't get myself out of the hole fast enough. And instead of going, well, I should go and get another share milking job on an easier farm, I just bought the bullet and bought a farm.
Right. Did it your own way.
Yeah. Well, and it's proved that by doing it my own way, it's proved reasonably successful, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Can you take me back to that time with the maize seminar and the shock from that?
Oh, it was appalling, really. You know, I thought I was going to see the seminar. I'd been invited along by the dairy company because we bought maize seed, so we thought they better get me along and see what I could learn from growing maize. And it was just a death. I might as well have gone to the funeral home. So, well, first off, you spray it out. Then you cultivate it. Then you put in a fungicide. Then you put stuff down the chute. Then you do this. And I just said to the guy, I said, well, what's that do to the worms? And he just shut up. He wouldn't say anything. I said, it kills them all, doesn't it?
Yeah, you challenged him, didn't you?
Yeah.
You challenged that conventional wisdom. Is that a tough thing to do in front of a group of people?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. Because you're a farmer and
Well,
you're a tough guy.
Stupid is as stupid does. I mean, it's no point standing around telling, pontificating afterwards. It's like, you're fucking mad. And sorry with the effing, but you're mad. And but there was people there that jumped on that they were going to do it. And I just couldn't believe it. Where was the profit margin? There was no figure put out by them to say, if you do this, you'll increase your production by this, so much dry matter, and you'll come out the end of it, which I could see it was a negative straight away.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is you've got the sort of personality that would highlight an issue like that. But some people just don't feel comfortable with it. You know, there's a whole group of people there, and some of them will be thinking, this could be mad, but, the guy's in authority. He says he seems to know what he's doing. Everyone's listening.
The questions you don't ask yourself are the detrimental ones for your future.
Yeah.
And that's just it. It's like you can make, I've made plenty of dumb decisions, but it's been my decision to ask, push, try it out. But from some of those dumb decisions, some amazing discoveries have come about from me doing silly things and going, oh, that didn't work, but what the hell's going on with this over here? And off you go. And, it's amazing how people have followed this doctrine knowing that it doesn't work. They bloody well know it doesn't work, but they still follow it.